Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health specialist at Baylor College of Medicine. For over 2 decades, I've been helping men restore their confidence, their vitality, and their intimacy, naturally and scientifically. Most men over 60 don't realize that the small changes in digestion, circulation, and hormonal balance happening inside their bodies can drastically influence their stamina and sexual performance. What worked for them in their 30s and 40s doesn't always work the same way in their 60s or 70s. Even foods they believed were healthy can start reacting differently with their slower metabolism and reduced enzyme activity. Lemon, for instance, has long been considered a cleansing and energizing fruit, but its acidic nature can create unexpected problems when mixed with the wrong foods at this age. The human body relies heavily on proper mineral absorption to produce testosterone and maintain nitric oxide levels, two fundamental pillars for erection quality. When the body cannot absorb zinc, magnesium, or iron efficiently, the hormonal and vascular systems begin to weaken, and this leads to fatigue, poor blood flow, and difficulty maintaining an erection. At 60 and beyond, the stomach's acid level naturally decreases, which already makes digestion less efficient. When you add lemon to a meal that contains protein or dairy, its citric acid can further disrupt the delicate process of nutrient breakdown. For example, if a man drinks lemon water right before eating eggs, oatmeal with milk, or yogurt, the acid in the lemon interacts with proteins and calcium to form insoluble compounds that the intestines can't absorb properly. Over time, this leads to micronutrient deficiencies. Zinc, which is crucial for testosterone production and sperm health, becomes less bioavailable, while magnesium absorption is slowed down. Without these two minerals, the Leydig cells in the testis, the ones responsible for making testosterone, become sluggish, leading to low energy, weaker libido, and weaker erections. The same principle applies to lemon mixed with iron-rich foods like red meat or fish. While lemon does help increase iron absorption when consumed alone, when it is paired with heavy protein and fat, the digestion process takes longer, and the acidity can interfere with bile production and protein metabolism. This can cause a buildup of undigested material in the gut, producing inflammation and reducing blood oxygen levels. The penis, being a highly vascular organ, is sensitive to even small changes in blood oxygen and nitric oxide levels. When the blood becomes less oxygenated, circulation slows and erection quality declines. By the time a man reaches 70, his body's nitric oxide production may be less than 1/3 of what it was at 30. Nitric oxide is the molecule that signals blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing for a strong erection. Without enough of it, no amount of stimulation can create the same firmness or duration. Combining lemon with incompatible foods suppresses this pathway even further. That's why small dietary habits make a big difference at this stage of life. Drinking lemon water by itself on an empty stomach helps cleanse the system and start digestion. Waiting at least half an hour before consuming protein or dairy ensures that nutrients are fully absorbed and that testosterone, circulation, and vitality remain strong, even well into the 70s. Many men in their 60s and 70s believe that eating clean or adding lemon to their meals is automatically beneficial. But the reality is that food chemistry changes as the body ages. Lemon, although loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants, can become counterproductive when paired with the wrong combinations, especially when your digestive enzymes are no longer as active as they used to be. In younger years, the stomach easily neutralizes acids and proteins, allowing nutrients to be absorbed efficiently. But after 60, the gastric lining produces less hydrochloric acid, pancreatic enzyme activity slows down, and the liver's bile secretion becomes weaker. This means the body has a harder time digesting complex meals, and the introduction of acidic substances like lemon right before or during meals can make the problem worse instead of better. When lemon juice is mixed with foods like eggs, milk, or cheese, the citric acid interacts with proteins and calcium to create compounds that are difficult to digest. For older men, this can cause bloating, indigestion, and nutrient malabsorption. What's even more concerning is how this process interferes with zinc absorption. Zinc is one of the most critical minerals for male sexual function because it helps produce testosterone and maintain prostate health. Without adequate zinc levels, testosterone drops, energy levels decline, and erectile function weakens. Many men complain that their stamina isn't what it used to be, but they don't realize that something as innocent as lemon water, combined with a protein-rich breakfast, could be one of the reasons. Lemon also alters the pH environment in the gut. While a small amount can aid detoxification, excessive acidity during a protein-heavy meal makes it harder for digestive enzymes like pepsin to function effectively. Pepsin is responsible for breaking down protein molecules into smaller amino acids that fuel muscle recovery, hormone production, and repair of tissues. When pepsin activity is disrupted, proteins pass through the intestines undigested, leading to poor nutrient absorption and inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the hidden enemies of male sexual health. It damages blood vessels, stiffens arteries, and restricts the flow of oxygenated blood to the pelvic region, ultimately weakening erection strength. Some men also combine lemon juice with tea or coffee during breakfast, believing it to be a refreshing start to the day. However, both caffeine and citric acid stimulate diuresis, meaning they make you lose more water and electrolytes through urination. This leads to dehydration, which thickens the blood and slows circulation. Two factors that can drastically reduce penile blood flow. Dehydration also decreases the production of nitric oxide, a molecule essential for vascular relaxation and erection quality. To preserve stamina and sexual vitality after 60, men need to think beyond what's healthy and start understanding what's compatible. Lemon water can still be beneficial, but it should be consumed alone, ideally on an empty stomach. By giving your digestive system enough time to neutralize the acid before you eat, you allow your body to absorb nutrients like zinc, magnesium, and iron more efficiently, nourishing the hormones, muscles, and circulation that keep you strong, vibrant, and confident at any age. One of the biggest mistakes men over 60 make is combining lemon with protein-heavy meals like grilled meat, fish, or eggs, believing that the acidity enhances flavor and aids digestion. While lemon may make food taste lighter, the chemical interaction between its citric acid and the proteins in meat or fish can actually interfere with nutrient absorption and blood circulation when the body's metabolism has already slowed down with age. The human body becomes less efficient at breaking down proteins after 60 due to reduced enzyme activity in the stomach and pancreas. When lemon's strong acid enters this already weakened environment, it alters the pH balance and affects the breakdown of amino acids, the building blocks your body needs for muscle repair, hormone regulation, and sexual performance. Without sufficient amino acids, testosterone synthesis is disrupted, muscle tone weakens, and stamina declines. Adding lemon to meat or fish also affects how iron is processed in older bodies. While it's true that lemon can help convert iron into a more absorbable form in younger individuals, in men over 60, the slower metabolism and weaker gut lining can make this interaction counterproductive. The acid can sometimes trigger mild oxidative stress during digestion, especially when combined with high-temperature cooked meats. This leads to the production of compounds that restrict blood flow and damage endothelial cells, the delicate lining inside your blood vessels that control circulation and nitric oxide release. Once these cells are compromised, blood flow to the pelvic region weakens, leading to softer erections, slower arousal, and decreased endurance. Another lesser-known issue is that when lemon is paired with salty or oily grilled foods, it can increase fluid loss and disrupt electrolyte balance. Older men are more prone to dehydration and low sodium levels, which directly affect nerve communication and vascular response. Erections depend on a precise balance of fluid pressure and electrical signaling between the brain and blood vessels. When dehydration or mineral imbalance occurs, the nervous system becomes less responsive, making it difficult to sustain arousal. Moreover, lemon's high acidity can trigger gastric reflux in many elderly men, which not only causes discomfort but also leads to sleep disturbances and hormonal imbalances due to elevated nighttime cortisol levels. Elevated cortisol is one of the major testosterone killers, silently draining a man's vitality and energy over time. To maintain strong stamina and good blood circulation, men over 60 should rethink how they use lemon in their meals. Instead of squeezing it directly onto meats or fish, it's better to use mild herbs like rosemary, thyme, or olive oil for flavor. If lemon is preferred, it should be consumed separately, perhaps as lemon water early in the day, allowing the stomach to reset before introducing proteins or heavy fats. Supporting nitric oxide with foods like beets, pomegranate, or watermelon can further help offset the decline in vascular flexibility that naturally comes with age. This small shift in eating habits can dramatically improve blood flow, oxygenation, and performance, allowing men in their 60s and 70s to maintain their energy, endurance, and sexual strength well into later years. As men age past 60, One of the most significant physiological changes that occurs is the steep decline in nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is a vital signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing proper circulation throughout the body, including to the pineal tissue during arousal. By the time a man reaches 70, his nitric oxide levels can drop to less than 1/4 of what they were in his youth. This decline doesn't just affect sexual performance. It impacts energy, focus, endurance, and even heart health. When circulation weakens, oxygen delivery to muscles and organs diminishes, creating a cycle of fatigue, poor recovery, and reduced confidence. Unfortunately, many men unknowingly make this worse through dietary habits that block the very nutrients their body needs to produce nitric oxide effectively. Lemon, though rich in antioxidants, can disrupt this process when combined with certain foods. The acid in lemon can interfere with the absorption of minerals like magnesium, zinc, all essential components for nitric oxide synthesis. Magnesium, in particular, acts as a cofactor in the enzymatic pathway that converts the amino acid L-arginine into nitric oxide. Without enough magnesium, the body cannot efficiently produce or sustain nitric oxide levels, leading to weaker blood flow and poor vascular flexibility. Similarly, zinc supports testosterone production, which indirectly enhances nitric oxide by maintaining endothelial health. When lemon binds with these minerals and limits their absorption, it compounds the natural age-related decline in nitric oxide production. Another factor that worsens the issue is the slower metabolism and reduced stomach acid in elderly men. When lemon's citric acid enters the digestive tract, it can alter the delicate pH balance needed for optimal enzyme function. If digestive enzymes like arginase and nitric oxide synthase become less active, the conversion of amino acids into nitric oxide slows dramatically. Over time, this leads to symptoms such as cold extremities, chronic fatigue, and erectile difficulties. Poor blood vessel dilation also increases blood pressure, putting additional stress on the heart. The irony is that many older men think they're improving their health by starting their day with lemon water followed by a protein or dairy-rich breakfast. But they're unknowingly blocking the very nutrients that support their vitality and stamina. To counter this, men over 60 should treat timing and food pairing as critical components of their health routine. Lemon water should be consumed on an empty stomach at least 30 minutes before breakfast, giving the body time to absorb its antioxidants without interfering with mineral uptake. Afterward, nutrient-rich foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, avocados, and lean meats can provide the necessary zinc and magnesium to fuel nitric oxide production and testosterone balance. Additionally, incorporating natural nitric oxide boosters such as beets, pomegranate, and watermelon can help keep blood vessels flexible and improve oxygen flow. This approach supports not only erectile function but also mental clarity, endurance, and cardiovascular strength. By understanding the connection between diet, nitric oxide, and aging, men can make smarter choices that preserve both their energy and their intimacy well into their 70s and beyond. After 60, maintaining stamina, energy, and sexual vitality becomes less about quick fixes and more about making intelligent, consistent choices that support the body's changing chemistry. The foods men choose, and the way they combine them, play a direct role in how well hormones function and how efficiently blood circulates. Many older men assume that eating healthy means adding more fruits like lemon, but the truth is, even healthy foods can work against the body when consumed at the wrong time or in the wrong combinations. Lemon, for instance, is best used strategically. Drinking it at the right time can help detoxify the body and improve digestion, but mixing it with protein, heavy or dairy-based meals can disrupt absorption and weaken the very systems that sustain male performance and stamina. Timing is the key. Lemon water on an empty stomach in the morning can stimulate the liver, help flush out toxins, and prepare the stomach for better digestion throughout the day. This simple act also helps improve hydration, which is critical for blood flow and oxygen transport. However, if a man follows his lemon water immediately with eggs, milk, or coffee, the benefits are neutralized. The acidity in lemon reacts with calcium and protein, forming compounds that slow down digestion. This prevents important nutrients like zinc, magnesium, and iron from being fully absorbed, leading to deficiencies that impact testosterone production, muscle strength, and energy levels. These minerals are also responsible for maintaining the vascular tone needed for strong erections, so even a small disruption in absorption can cause noticeable effects over time. Men in their 60s and 70s should also pay attention to how lemon interacts with supplements and medications. The citric acid in lemon can change how the stomach processes certain compounds, reducing their bioavailability or increasing side effects. For example, when taken with zinc or magnesium supplements, lemon may reduce their effectiveness by altering their ionic state before they're absorbed. Similarly, if a man is on blood pressure medication or nitrates for heart health, excessive acidity can sometimes intensify or dull the effects of those medicines. That's why spacing lemon water and supplements apart by at least 30-45 minutes can make a meaningful difference in energy and stamina. To replace the nutrients that lemon may block when combined improperly, men should focus on foods that naturally support testosterone and nitric oxide production. Beets, pomegranates, dark leafy greens, and pumpkin seeds all enhance blood flow and muscle recovery. They supply the amino acids and minerals that keep energy steady throughout the day. Hydration is equally crucial. Older men often underestimate how much water their bodies need to maintain optimal blood viscosity and circulation. Pairing proper hydration with nutrient-dense foods ensures that oxygen reaches the muscles and the pelvic region efficiently, strengthening both endurance and erectile function. Ultimately, stamina after 60 isn't just about exercise or supplements. It's about mastering the small daily habits that protect digestion, preserve hormones, and enhance circulation. When men learn how to time their lemon intake, nourish their bodies with mineral-rich foods, and support nitric oxide production, they not only reclaim their energy and vitality, but also rediscover the confidence and strength that define true masculine health, even well into their 70s.